Hello and welcome to my review of the Primaris Lieutenant Calsius. The only way to get this lieutenant at the moment is with the Warhammer 40K Conquest subscription from Hatchet Partworks. He comes in issue 5. Obviously it costs £7.99 like all of the issues do. Just this model comes with this magazine. You don't get any paints or anything else. Now normally lieutenants are around about £15 to £20 or so. I say separately, there are only two lieutenants that you can get separately, which are the Blood Angels one and the Dark Angels one. You were able to get the 500th store exclusive, this one here, and he was £20 to celebrate the opening of the 500th store. And also there's this lieutenant, which was in the Wake the Dead box set. And now we've got this one too. I think overall there are about 9. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at Lieutenant Calsius in detail and obviously go through his rules. His rules are going to be exactly the same as in the Space Marine Codex. So first of all, let's have a little look at the magazine. So here we go, issue number 5. Talks a bit about Space Marine Lieutenants. Talks about Calsius. It says Calsius was amongst the first of the Primaris Space Marines to be inducted into the Ultramarines chapter. He is an Ultramarines named Primaris Lieutenant character. Hopefully we're going to get more Primaris name characters too as the Primaris range increases. A little bit Nova Thulium. Now if you're watching this video on the back of my build guide, I did go through like step-by-step process like I do with all of the Conquest magazines of how to build him, and he came out pretty well. Let me just zoom in and have a more detailed look at him. So as you can see there, he's about to unsheath his power sword. He's got a purity seal on his power pack. He's got Laurel with an Ultramarines. I decided to keep the Ultramarines shoulder pauldron on anyway, just because he's got that knee armour and he's actually got the Ultramarines on the little purity seal, and the U on the power pack and the purity seal there. So even though it sort of gives you the option of not having that Ultramarines shoulder pauldron, you can't get away from the fact that there are Ultramarine symbols on the sword itself, on the gladius, on the sheath, on the knee, on the purity seals, and on the power pack. So there's Ultramarine iconography all over, despite giving you the option of changing his head and having this helmeted version. But I think it's a really cool looking model. I much prefer him with the helmet as well. Is he one of the best looking lieutenants? Well, there is the event one coming out next year in March time, which I think is the best looking one. All the others look okay. I think another contender is the 500 store exclusive, mainly because we get to see Primaris with half of his helmet off, and I love the Stalker bolt rifle too. But here we go, another lieutenant with a power sword. So that's the model itself. Obviously it went together very well. It's in this blue plastic, which is fine, and you just spray it whatever colour and then have a crack at painting it. I would have guessed that this model would have cost easily like £15 or so if they released it separately. Let's just do a couple of comparisons with the other lieutenants. So this is the 500 store exclusive one. As you can see, they're pretty much exactly the same size. Then you've got the Wake the Dead one, which looks a bit taller just because he's got his sword kind of raised, if that helps. And then just for giggles really, I've got a standard small Space Marine there, which barely goes up to his shoulders. So that's the size comparisons over. What I'll do now is just drop the camera down a bit and go through all the rules and things for him. So as I mentioned before, Lieutenant Calsius is a Primaris Lieutenant. His power points cost is a 5 and his points cost is 70. He comes with mastercrafted auto bolt rifle, bolt pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades, although typically you can replace the mastercrafted auto bolt rifle with a power sword or a mastercrafted stalker bolt rifle. So in this case you're going to be swapping it out with a power sword, and a power sword will cost you 4 points. It's going to be 74 points for Calsius himself. You'll find him in the HQ section. He's a power points cost of a 5. His movement is 6 inches, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness are 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. Obviously he's got that bolt pistol already, which is a range 12-inch, pistol 1, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1 weapon, but Calsius himself has got a power sword, which means it's strength of the user, which is 4, AP is -3 and damage 1. His abilities, and they shall know no fear. He's got tactical precision, where you can re-roll wound rolls of 1 for friendly units within 6 inches of him, and company heroes. All models in the unit must be set up at the same time, but they do not need to set up in unit coherency, and from that point onwards, each lieutenant is treated as a separate unit. The keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes character, infantry, primaris and lieutenants. So this tactical precision is the main reason why you choose the lieutenant, as well as giving you something that is pretty good in close combat. He's got the power sword. Yes, it's only strength 4, but his weapon skill is a 2+. He's got a lot of wounds at 5, a decent save. He just lacks that extra thing, like an Iron Halo, like an invulnerable save, or lacks a power fist, or a melter weapon, or something that just stands him apart. He's better than a sergeant, definitely, but not quite at the same level as a captain, clearly. But the tactical precision, re-rolling the win rolls of a 1 is why you'd go for him. It just it's a huge buff to your other friendly chapter units surrounding him, especially the units with kind of low strength weaponry, where you, for any unit really, with any kind of strength weaponry that you really want to wound, such as like anything from your standard bolt rifles to your las cannons, things like that. You want to cause damage, you can re-roll the wound rolls of a 1. Anyway, that's it for my review of Lieutenant Calsius. Hopefully you managed to get him in your subscription and you're enjoying the model and the rules. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.